we got our banner. It's time to get back the product, but before settling the product in that Sanity, I would like to also add the categories here. You can also either add the categories while you are loading the product, or you can just add it right now. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna create a new category. The title, let's say it will be a snacks title, snacks. Okay. And the flag, of course, it's gonna generate automatically. And for the little bit description, what I'm gonna do is that let's just go in my page over in the client, and from here I'm gonna just make that a little bit of lorem text often, just to put some description over this place. So cut from here, and then I will roll back here, description right in this place, and publish. So now we will be attach the product within that category. As we are having that product right here, how we can deal with that? To create that product, like to get back the product to for our page, we need to go in the structure for that Sanity. Here in the schema types, we're gonna start a new schema, which will be for our product schema. So let's just say product type.ts. Now here, basically, we are going to explain what kind of products we're going to have and how we can contradict that one. So it will be export const, and then it will be the name for that product type. And of course, you need to define that define type parameter. So define type, and from that function, just put the tiny object here, which is going to take a name similarly of that product. And this, by grabbing this name, we're gonna fetch the product from our Sanity store, and the title should be a product, and then the type should be a document. And after that, we're gonna also put one icon, which I would love to provide that trolley icon from Sanity. And here I'm going to define the fields. The fields, which is going to be an array, we are going to define in that perspective. So first, in the field, we need to define the fields. So particularly, we're going to have several kind of fields right here. So the first one, I'm going to provide the product name. The name, it will be the title in between whenever you're going to grab that within the name, and the title should be passing that as product name. And after that, the type should be as string. And also we will use a validation, because every product should have a name. So you're going to set the rule, and that rule should be as required. Okay, so this should be creating one product right here, but there is some error. Let me find what is that. So that is the fields which we define. Then we are getting, oh sorry, it's not the define type, it should be define fields. Yeah, that was the mistake. So that one is the define type category. So there you're going to define all the type layer, and every single field should be coming up as a defined field. If we just want to inject that one within the parameter of our structure, we need to just go in index.ts right here. As we have the category type and sales type, we also gonna have that our product type right here. And after passing that, if we just go back to our Sanity, don't worry, that error is the minor error, as it's just going to load up. And here we should be able to get back our product field here, where we can inject the product with just a simple name. As you see, the product is available, and from that product we can easily just add a product, and as you see in the viewport, it will avail with the product name. So now we can grab the product. So let's just do and create other fields, and also try to understand why we are injecting that and how we are integrating it. And some of you people are asking to use that product, the image array. Of course, I'm gonna define that at the end of the build, because this build is just for a single purposes. Design is not choreographed just for having a multiple images. But don't worry, after finishing that one, at the very end of the project, I'm gonna create a new design where I'm going to showcase how you can grab that image as an array, and also you can manage it with that same theme parameter. So no worries about it. Now we will define the slag, which will be defined field again. And here we're going to define how our slag it will be look like. So the name, it will be the value for the slag, and also we're going to pass the title, which will say as a slag field. And then the type, which the type it will be a slag, and then we will pass the options. Then the options, it will redirect how the slug it will be look like, and the source it will get from the name. So whatever the name we are going to passing through, it will automatically concat it and then pass that as a slug. And also we will make that as a max length, so it will be within 96. Okay, so it will not be more than 96, and we will also use a validation process here, because every single product should have a slug, and that rule it should be required. Okay, that's the two defined field here. So right now, as we having that our slug name and slug, then we're gonna having our image here. So let's define one more properties here, which will be the image property. And by the way, if you want, you can just roll back and make fast and forward, and you can do it by yourself. But what I really want, I want to do it so you can have a pace with me. Then also in the title, I will pass that as a product image. Okay, I think misspelled the name. Product image. And that product image, also the type, it should be an image. And in that image also we will make that an options, which it will be the hotspot, and the hotspot it can be true. And now that product image may not be required, because some product may have image, some product may not have image, it depends, but you can make it require. It's just depend on you. For right now, I'm gonna keep it the image also requires, so my design and other properties it will not break. Now here I'm gonna get some similar properties. Here it will be like getting the defined for the description. So the description going to be named as description, title it will be a description, type it will be a string, and then the defined field parameter coming the price, title price, and the type, as you see, it will be a number type, and the validation, every single product should have a price, and then we're gonna just main concat as 0, so minimum value also need to be recorded here. Then also I'm going to define that as the discount price, because it will be similar for the price, which will be the defined field, the name discount, title would be discount, type would be number, and the validation, the discount parameter also required. But we can keep it as no need to be have that, because product must not have a discount. It can be go in either way, but I'm going to keep it, and a validation rule it will be required. It's up to you. You can skip it if you like to. Then we will also get another field, which will be defined field, and here it will be for our categories. So the name it would be categories, or you can just mention as category, but it will be a multi-category, so we will just put it as categories. So here it will be categories, and then the type it would be type as an array type, and after that we will make a reference of that parameter. That one it will be type should be type, which gonna be coming from that as a reference, and that reference going to have a value from which reference it will be there, and that reference should be from category. Okay, so that's the reference it gonna contain. Okay, what's the wrong we have been done here? We define the field, we pass the name as categories, we also provide the title as categories, the array is defined. Okay, I think my okay, that formatter is just having crashed. Okay, let me just reshuffle again. Okay, I think we're good. It's just taking a bit of time to reconcile on that. Now after that, we're gonna have another two same parameter, not like for the category, but for the stock, which the title it will be stock type number. So we're gonna pass the stock value here. We're gonna pass the level value, like which leveling we are going to pass for our product. And after that, we're gonna create a dummy status queue, and that one also going to define the field. Here we're gonna keep something in a different way. So the name it will be as the status. So we're gonna define the product's status, and the title it will be product status, and also the type it should be as a type of a string. And after that we're gonna pass the options. So in the options we're gonna pass a list, and from this list now the user can choose the title and the value. So the title it should be entertained for the new, and also the value should be the value of as a new product. So now we can define what kind of product it will be in within this parameter. So they can choose from here which product they're gonna grab and how they're gonna grab. So now one it will be new, another it will be hot, so we can define the value as hot, and the last one it will be for our sell product, so it will be sell. Now we can entitle which product going to be which site. So alongside the parameter, as you see, we added multiple field, which is entertaining that as the name, product has a name, has a flag, has an image, description, price, discount price, categories, stock, label, status. Now, as we define our parameter, we need to also provide a preview so that every time we upload a product, we can have a very good standard method to just watch in the sidebar. And in the select field, we're gonna select the title, and the title it will be from the name, and also for that media it will be the image. And after that, the subtitle, we're gonna put that subtitle it will combine the price name. Okay, so now we're gonna prepare our selection, so it will be prepare, and from there we're gonna get that selection, and from the selection we're gonna return the value, like the value we want to return. We will pass the title, and the title it will be that a selection dot title. And also for the subtitle, we're gonna provide the subtitle should be within a $sign, because as we are passing that subtitle as the price, so it should be, and I'm gonna just concat one more dollar here, so it should be selection dot price. I think not the price, it should be the subtitle, yes. And then the media, okay, I think the media, we're gonna pass that from the selection dot media. So now that will be an overall value, like how the product gonna render, how we can grab the product in between within our field, and then we're gonna prefetch and revoke everything internally. So now if you roll back here, as you see, if we just go in our structure, and in the product we have a multiple paradigm of the field. Now what we can do here, we can add a new product, and how we can add that is very simple in that way. We just need to pass the product name. So right now, let's say I will say that what you can say, mango juice. Okay, that's the product. So now whenever I'm gonna click on generate, it's gonna generate a automatic flag, this automatically, and it will be unique. So now I need to grab my product image, so let's upload one image, which going to be, okay, that's the mango juice. Now I need to define the price. Let's say price it will be like 25, and the discount ratio also need to provide it, maybe it will be like 15%. And we can now take the categories, we can add in new categories from here if we want to create. Okay, also we can just grab it from our drop down, as we created before a category of snacks, but this one is not for the snacks, so we can create a new one. Whenever we click on create, it will automatically open another window. Now here we can create the separate one, so it will be like juice and beverage. Okay, generate the flag, and similarly we're gonna just make some, let's say, dummy text. Okay, so now publish. So this one it will be also right now available in our category. So if just we roll back here, and this time as you see there is one category is selected automatically. Okay, I will close that, it's not required. And we will say stock, so stock it will be 5, and we can now put a label, right? What kind of label do you want? So we want to label of that 100 milligram bottle, right? And the product status, we can say it will be a new product, right? So we can now define what kind of things it will go and how we can render that. If we publish, we should be able to have one product here. As you see, it's just grabbing that scenario. Okay, I think for the preview we have the name, we have the price, we can also, I think, yeah, that's it. You can make more thing here, but I think I'll go with that. Okay, so we have the mango juice as you see, and pretty much that's it. So now what we can do, okay, this subtitle, I think we need to just cut that one. Okay, so the comma it will be removed from here, it was mistake here. So now as we have our product, we can grab the product, right? So from this in this list, we can now need to able to grab that product here. Okay, so first we're gonna add a few more product, then we're gonna grab it. So let's just going to add one more product. I'm gonna add 2-3 product, then I will gonna just go in the same parameter, the same way. I'm gonna upload that, as you see, just upload it, and I'm gonna rename that one. Okay, so now I populated 4 of the products. So now what we can do now is to go and grab the product in real time. And how we can do that? Pretty much simply, beforehand we already got our other banner product, remember? So now what are you gonna do? You're gonna go in Sanity, and in the helpers on that indexed, now we're gonna grab that. So before going there, we will go in the queries. As you see, we can now go and ask the vision how we can set that. So it's very simple. We will write the query, then we're gonna find how we can achieve that parameter, then we will just grab it. So now this time it will be a type of, as you say, we name that one as a product, so it will be a type of product, and from there we're gonna grab everything. If we just run our query, as you see, our 4 products is right now available. So over here we're gonna make a query which is going to be an export, so it should be export, and that one we're gonna make that a const, should be a products query. It will be products underscore query, and that query it will be going through with the defined query. So it will be the similar query as we name at the top. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just grab it. Okay, so I'm gonna grab it right here and then enter. Instead of cell, this time it will be product. So now our query is ready. We can go on that and create the other parameter. I don't know why that one is broke. So okay, that's supposed to be, if that one is broke, if we replace that, that should be broke too, right? Okay, that's weird. So right now, okay, I'm gonna just cut this one, and then I'm gonna go and type this one. Okay, whatever, it's just cannot, okay, it's just reshuffling that my okay, what is that for the designing parameter? Maybe my page here is not working that much. So now here, as we create one query for get cell, now here also we can make another call which will be export const. It will be get all products. So with that we're going to create all of our products, and of course it's going to be an asynchronous function. And here we're going to create a try catch block, right? So in the catch block, remember how the way we return, so it will be console log error, and in the error we're going to pass a reasonable message. So it should be, let's say all products fetching error. So here we're going to define the error so that easily we can reconcile, and from there if we are passing an error, we're going to return an empty array, so it will not break in our front end. Now here we will get our products, so should be products is equal to, remember we need to pass that await function as a sanity fetch. It will go and create that fetch method. Remember the fetch which we take from here, as you see, the token properties and others, so also revalidate, so it will like update in real time whenever we want it to. Then we're gonna pass a query, which the query it should be the products query, and after passing that definition of that query, we will grab that product, right? And from there we'll return that whatever the products we're gonna get, and from the products it will just populate the data. If it's available, it will be passing the data, otherwise it will be empty. Now if we coming back here, as you see, is passing that product property data as any. Remember we write just a tiny function over there which is the type gen. If you just roll back to our package, now we can run our type gen directly here in our terminal. So I'm gonna go in the terminal, I think the first one, yeah, so it will be npm run type gen. So previously we populated one of that data for our banner, so this time it will roll back to get our product data. So right now, as it's just grabbing that data, let's just roll back to our page here, and this time we are going to grab the products just right here. So it will be const products is equal to, it will be await method and then get all products. So what it means now, this time we should be able to get all of our products. So if we just come back here and put a log method to grab and see if our products is ready or not, as you see, the generated TypeScript types for 14 schema types and 2 grok queries. So means 2. We had 2 grok queries right now. As you see in the queries, it's very simple to manage. That's the one number, that's the 2. So 2 query and we have 2. So if we roll back to Sanity type file, we should be able to see the product. As you see, the product having an ID, also having the type, created at, updated at, reference, name, flag, image. So everything is just right here populated for you. You don't need to worry about anymore. So it will be happen by default. Now, if we just roll back in our helper function here, as you see, the product data is just a data of the product query result. So no more it's now fully type safe, and you can use it anywhere if you like. So now here, let's roll back to our page. I'm going to close those files here right now. Okay. So if I save right now, we should be able to see 4 of the data. You see? That's perfect. So now we are having our data. We can now start building our method to create the product design and other parameter. To create the product design in the components layer, I'm going to create one more file which will be named as product list.tsx RAFCE to create that React Native functional component. And from here, what I'm going to do to pass it, let's just call that as product list. And right now in that product list, I'm going to pass that products, and that product should be as products. And also I'm going to pass that categories as, right now we didn't write anything to grab the categories, but first just check the category products, then we'll grab the categories, right? As we also may need our categories to create the other parameter. So here we can just simply grab the products just easily, but we need to also define the interface. So the interface, it will be as a props, and in the props it will be like we're gonna grab the products. So the product should be the product array of the product data, and if we come back here and passing the parameter as the props, okay, you see the error is disappear. So right now it will also combine our categories. So the categories and categories, it will be also going to be defined. Of course we will define that, and also it will gonna pass a title, means a boolean value. So whenever the title is available, it gonna pass something. If it's not available, it gonna pass other thing. Right now, okay, let's just see. I'm gonna pass a title flag here. So here I'm gonna showcase the title. So let's go in the product list. I'm gonna pass that title. Whenever it's available, that would be a boolean value, and also I can concate that one within that realm. Now let's just go and grab the category as we defined the previously. So let's go in our helpers and queries. So in the queries, we're gonna run this time to grab our categories, and how we can grab that. So if we just go here, we'll make another one, export const, that should be for our categories underscore query. And that query, it will be also coming for as a defined query, and from that defined query we can now get the similar thing which we have been done so far. I'm gonna just cut that, you know, it's a pretty simple and similar things going to be coming here. And in the product, instead of the product, we're gonna write that it will be just to grab all other categories. Now we are having our query. Let's go in that our page, not in the page but in our index, helper index. So should be helpers. In that helpers, we're gonna create another function which will be get all categories. So we need to export that. Export const get all categories, async function. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna define that again, the try catch value, and now we know how we can interject with it. We can pass the similar, so should be all categories fetching error. Also I'm gonna make it as a smaller one. Now in the try block, we're gonna get the categories, right? So const categories is equal to should be await sanity fetch, and from there we're gonna pass an object should be query, and that query should be categories query. As we did that, we should be able to get the category, right? So the return parameter, we're gonna pass that categories dot data. If that one is available, okay, otherwise it will be an empty value. That's it. So far so much. So right now it's so far so good. So we should be able to generate the category. So if we make that categories is equal to await get all categories, we should be get the categories. For right now, just to check if it's rendering or not, I will check the categories. As you see, it should be appealed here. I have only 2 categories, so that's 2 categories is right here. Snacks, one is snacks, one is for like what we make that one here, juice and beverage. So no worries, we're gonna fix everything because those categories also I'll bring back from my previous schema, but not right now, later on. Till now we're gonna use those dummy products, so that also you're gonna have a very good idea. Categories would be our categories. Okay, we didn't get, okay, we got the categories. Okay, I just happened to be delete altogether, so that should not be. So from here, we're gonna pass the categories within the categories layer, and also in that product list, we're gonna grab the categories, and we didn't populate the data yet, so that should be need to be append. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna render one more time our type gen to generate one of our things. So npm run type gen. So after running the type gen, we should be able to get our categories back. So it's populated, and if we roll back to our categories, now we will be able to grab the categories, which will be an array of categories, and now we are good to go with that parameter. So I'm gonna just minimize all. Now we start building our product list to happen to be to make it in a perfect blend. Now how we gonna start popping things up? First thing first, here we're gonna have a 2 set of things. One, it will just to be holding the categories, and another it will be just grabbing our product. So it will be in both in a different way, so product, but it will inject together in that motion. So first we're gonna go grab our product just to showcase that we have something, right? So before passing that, we're gonna pass a okay, we can also create one over here. I'm gonna create a component named as categories rafce. That should be our categories tab, and we will just inject that one over here later on. First we're gonna provide the car like the product, then we're gonna go with the categories. So categories, it should be the categories. And right now, if we roll back with the categories parameter, we should be able to view the category. We're gonna pass only the props here, should be categories, and we can just make an inline parameter, which will be categories. It will be an category array. Done. So now as you see, we have one category list, right? So what I will love to do is that instead of passing that value directly injecting without any design parameter from the client in the page, as you see these two, I'm going to wrap that two within our container. So container, okay, container. So right now it should be popping at that layer, so I think it's super cool. So as we are having that categories now also in the product list, so we will be able to make sure to make everything in a good shape. So first thing first, we need to provide a title here. So let's pass a d here. I'm gonna provide a title which will say day of the, and I'm gonna make a span which will be deal. So day of the deal, and here after that p tag h2 tag, I'm gonna pass in like for don't wait, the time will okay, what is the time? The time will never be just right. And instead of that apostrophes, I'm gonna use that an oppose because the Vercel gonna freak out on, so I'm gonna make that one. So an pause. Okay, so right now as you see we're having that categories there, and day of the deal, don't wait, the time will never be just right. And to make it in a good collaboration, I'm gonna just make that padding bottom of 32 just to give a little bit of space up to just to showcase our thing right here. So in that h2 one, put a class name. The text should be, let's say text, it will be 2XL. Okay, 2XL font should be semi bold, and text should be gray of 600. And right now you see the day of the deal is looking perfect. And after that we're gonna also have a p tag, which going to be a passing that text should be small text, and text should be gray of 500. And then font, it will be a thin form, like as you see, very simple font. Now as you see, we didn't set up our font. Did you set yet? So I don't think so. If we just roll back to our over here, yeah, we didn't get the font because that's the gist font is passing. It should be the fonts popping, right? That's why it's not matching together, but I'm gonna get it right now. But before going there, also let's pass something here. Should be the text should be light blue. Okay, so now we have like the day of the deal and other parameter. So right now what I'm gonna do is that also class name padding bottom should be 5. So we need to inject that parameter, like how we can define our fonts that we need to reveal right now. It's pretty simple way to define the font, and it's very simple and pretty easy way to use. So first of all, we need to go in that Google Fonts, and here we're gonna download the fonts first. So we will use a font pop-in fonts here directly, no others. Pop-ins. I just need to click on the pop-ins, and then let's go to get the font and get embedded code. And from here, as you see, we need to grab this code from HTTPS. We will get the pop-ins font. Okay, pop-ins. There's a lot of weight here. There is, I think, one font or several. Okay, there is a lot of fonts running here. I'm gonna just copy this portion. Then I'm going to open it in a new terminal, and after that, as you see, we have a different formation here. We need to go and check the Latin version here. As you see, Latin the 900, but we'll go to grab that 400 one. That will be perfect blend for our application layer. So this is the 400, now the italic version, but the Latin one. As you see, there's 5, I think there's 3, there's 4 font face Latin. Yeah, that's the one. So we'll get that one. You just need to copy that. And after copying it in a separate terminal, as you see, in the separate terminal, you just need to paste it, and automatically, okay, I think I may have been made a mistake. So that's the HTTPS. Okay, till here, not the format. Okay, that's all my bad. So if you enter now, that will automatically download, and it will be found that in your download folder, and from that folder rename it. And after renaming, I'm just gonna grab that font here. It will be like that poppins.woff2. that poppins I rename because that will coming in a different shape. I just renamed that one right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna exercise the font value. So here, as you see, we have the gist mono, we have the local fonts. I'm gonna remove that 2 fonts, and I'm gonna apply my own font, which I just now injected here. You can keep the previous one or you can delete it, so no worries about it. If one is working, that's fine. Now how I can delete? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make that the value, it should be poppins, and here it will get the local font parameter. And after that, we're gonna pass within the object, we'll pass the source name, which going to be /fonts/poppins.woff2. remember, the name should be similar the way we are prefetching in the file. And we will also pass a variable which is going to be --font poppins. And after that, we will make that weight, the default weight, we're gonna pass a 400, and then we make that preload as, let's say it will be false. We don't want to pass any preload value. Now here, instead of these 2 value for the gist and others, I'm gonna remove one. So let's remove this one, and here instead of the distance, we're gonna just grab our poppins. And as we did, Okay, I will love to reload, but it's reloading automatically. I think the font is changed. Okay, let's just inspect that one and inspect this one and this font family. Where is that font? As you see, the Poppins and Poppins fallback. So fallback also Poppins, and especially the Poppins false is working perfectly. And also you can check in a dynamic way. So right now I think, yeah, that's enough. So our fonts is just working perfectly because it's a default font is popping, and also if it's fallback font also going to be coming as Poppins. Oh, I don't think so it's worked, because as you see, I don't think the changes is happened yet. Let me just dig down a bit why it's not showcasing the font. Or what we can do, we can make a var font family directly injecting in our global.css, right? So let's go in that globals.css file. Here we're gonna inject the font directly. So as you see, after that base layer, we're gonna go and fetch the body, and in the body we're gonna pass the font family. So the font family, it will be passing from the variable font. Remember the name we passed that. So font should be Poppins, and if it's fallbacking, then it will just go and grab that sans serif. Yeah, this time is changed. Okay, this is the Poppins fonts. So that's what we are looking for, and we get it right here. So now our font is changed. We can just roll back to our previous working scenario. So here we are in that product list. So now to populate the product, in that product list, we will go and find in a different way. We can make it right here, and then also we can go and subordinate the other properties. So right now we'll do it right here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just pass a simple div here. And in the div, we're gonna map through our products, right? So it will be products.map. And here I'm gonna pass every product as a product. And from that product, we're gonna simply return a product card. Okay, so that card we need to create. So let's roll back here in the components. We're gonna create one more file, which will be product card.tsx rafce. That should be our product card, and we're gonna import it right here. And as you see, you need to provide the key parameter, should be the product._id, and done. So we okay, need to post a save here. So as you see, we are having 4 products right here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put a class name to inject it in a perfect shape. So class name, and then we're gonna make it as a grid, and grid calls by default it will be 1. sm grid call should be 2. And md screen, and then make that grid calls as 3. So it will be 3, and lg should be grid calls should be 4, and I'm gonna pass a gap of 8, so that you're gonna see it should be split at 5 parameter here. So right now I think it looks quite good, but we're gonna render something more here. But before doing that, we're gonna pass the product. Okay, so for the product, it will be automatically passing the product. But before dealing the other way, we should also need to watch in our previous design how we just started that criteria, how the product gonna look like, how it gonna reflect the scenario, so that you're gonna have a better understanding. So we are loading our previous application. While it's loading, we can also discuss some other parameters, because we need to create some animation parameter right here. So just give it a bit of time to load this one. Okay, that's our previous version. So that should be our product, and whenever we are loading, as you see, there will be a direct shift, and you see the product, how opacity is working. And also for the category, if you select any particular category, it will take back to us on that space and give back to our category. So right now what we are going to define and to create is that kind of thing. So right here we are now doing this, but we're gonna turn it into this. Okay, to create that we need to go all the scenario together. So we're gonna create that one. So no worries about it. What I'm gonna do, let's just go back in our previous thing. So here we're gonna create our product scenario. So let's go back to our product card, and in the product card we're gonna grab our product. So it will be product, and let's define some interface. So interface should be as a props, and here we're gonna pass that product should be a product of that I think product. Misspell of the name of props, should be props. And here in the product ratio, it should be coming as a props. And now you see error is gone. Now we can define the simple parameter. For the class name, we're gonna pass a border, and I'm gonna make that border gray of 300. And after that, rounded should be large rounded. Overflow, we're gonna make a hidden overflow, and that one we're gonna make a group, so that once we are just hovering over in that div, all the like child div can have the similar effect, and they can grab it and put the action. And text should be all in small text from this onwards. As you see, we are grabbing that. So right now I'm gonna also render the image, so there will be a two certain things of portion here. So that will be one div where I'm gonna showcasing the image. After that, we're gonna have another div by which we're gonna pass that our products property, like the text and others. So just define that another, so it will be the description. Okay, so also it's gonna contain another div. So within that div, I'm gonna grab my image, right? So it will be image, and need to import from the next image. And in the source, it will be url4, and from there it's gonna get that product dot image, and after that dot url to grab the url from the image. And alt tag, it will be as product image. And as an external image, we also need to provide an width and height. So I'm going to provide 500 by 500, and also for that I'm going to making a loading, which going to be, I want all the image should be loading as lazy. By default it's getting lazy loading, but I would like to also provide that. Now as you see, there is an error. What is saying argument type, asset, reference string type, and the mention is coming, it could be undefined, right? So image, it will take a time to overlap and come over here. So we need to pass a condition here. What's the condition? If that product dot image, if that product contain that image, only then you render the image, otherwise keep it as it is. So now if we come over here, we should be able to see one image, but we are not seeing anything right now. If we just reload, we should be able to see the image, but it's not coming. That is the catch. So that's url4, and we are getting lazy loading. Okay, let's just go and put some class name over here. So class name, we're gonna provide a width of full, and let's say max height of 96. Why we should not see the image? Okay, that's annoying. Let's say type something description. Is it coming here? Yeah, description is coming, but not the image. What we are missing? We are passing that product. Null check should not be there. Okay, if the product has the image and we are passing that value, so is that one having an image? I think so, it should be. Okay, I cannot read the image. Okay, fine, that's why we are providing that null check. So the product data url4 product.image url, I think it should grab that, but what's wrong here? Okay, let us debug on that. So let's just go and type, it will be the product, and I'm gonna go and grab my terminal here, and from there let's see if we are having that product. Okay. The product is not passing perfectly. As you see, we passed the product, but we didn't save the file. That's super silly. We need to save the file, otherwise it will not appear. Okay, that's my bad. Very bad. That's supposed not to be. We didn't save the file. That was the error only. Otherwise it was perfect. As you see, that's cool. I think it's just a simple silly mistake, but you know, it's kind of overlap. Now as you see, we are having our products, so we can now go and create other scenario. And what kind of scenario we are going to have? First, at the bottom layer, I'm going to make it a little bit shuffling, so the padding should be 5, and that's it. I'm going to just keep it in that way. So this is like that, and now we're going to generate the other properties on that scenario. First, this entire image going to wrap with a link, right? So whenever we are going to click on that product, it will link us to somewhere, right? And where it gonna link us? We're gonna href the properties. It should be /product /product / we're gonna pass that our product dot slag and dot current. So there it gonna land us. Okay, and also we're gonna pass, instead of passing there, we're gonna pass within a backtick value. Okay, and why I'm passing that backtick value, you will let know. I'm gonna show you. So the object should be cover, and then overflow should be hidden because we're gonna make it any scale, and transition should be transform. And here once we're gonna make in the group of hover, only then we're gonna also scale something. We're gonna make a scale of 105, and we're gonna pass a duration of 500. As you see now, if we just going to pass that, you see there is a hover going on and it's look very simple and sleek. So right now, as you see, that's giving a perfect blend on that. So this hover effect, it will be generated on condition, like the product if having this stock. Before going that, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna write something. If the product dot stock, so means if that product stock is equal to 0, means there is no product, only then we're gonna return something. What are you gonna return? We're gonna return another div, and within that div we're gonna pass a p tag which will say out of stock. So right now I passed a product which is out of stock. I made it as purposely. So let's see. As you see, this one is showing out of stock, so means it's working. Now this one we will also make it in a perfect way. As you see, the overall in the top layer of the div, we need to make it as relative div. So for the class name, we're gonna pass a border b, and border bottom should be gray of 300, so it will be in a little bit of gap in between. As you see, I think okay, there is an overflow and it's congesting on that. We need to sort it out. Overflow should be hidden, and I'm gonna make it as relative. So if now I'm hovering, still is okay, this time is injecting. Now we need to grab and create the other ratio. So this div, it will be overlap within our product. So here, this one, as you see, that scale be only compiling if our product is not out of stock, right? So if out of stock product, there will be no hover. So if product dot stock is not equal to I can say is 1, not equal to and 0, only then we're going to provide the hover effect. So right now, if you come over here, as you see, this one have no hover, but this one having the hover. So right now we're gonna make some functioning here. I'm gonna make it as an absolute div, and from the top it will be 0, from the left it will be 0, width should be full and height should be full, and bj should be black, and bj opacity should be 50, and flex item center justifies center, and we are gonna land in that design. So there is the out of stock, but this one we need to provide some of the design. The text should be large text, font should be bold, and text should be white. And one more thing is that regarding the font, there is a multiple way you can arrange the font. I just showcase one simple way, and while building this entire application, if you are preferring to having the font optimization using that, you know that from the Tailwind CSS we can directly inject the font in a different way by accessing that tailwind config.ts file, and also we can go with the variable fonts, the Google variable fonts. So there is a multiple way we can go over that. So if you are facing problem to any of the scenario, let me know in the comments. I will try to reach out and help. Okay, so now this one is out of stock, nothing needs to be provided. So here, after that, we will also render something called if we have the product, like product dot status is available, and we're gonna pass another div. In that div, we're gonna pass that if we have the product dot status, and after that we're gonna split that, and we're gonna split that by from an empty string. And after that we're gonna map through it, and from there we're gonna get the character, we're gonna get the index. That ones we are doing to render it in not in vertically. So let's just return something. Should be returning one is span, so that will be a span, and here we're gonna pass simply our character. First just provide the key, otherwise it will freak out. The key should be index. Now what it gonna see is here, as you see, the new is available. Okay, that's the one we are creating, new sale heart. So now we need to define that in a very different level. And how we can define that? First I'm gonna make it in a class name. The class name, it will be, for that font, it will be semi-bold. I'm gonna make it in uppercase to make it look a little bit nicer and better. So this time I'm gonna make it the other parameter. First, it will be an absolute div, and from the left it will be 1, and from the top it will also be 1, and I'm gonna make a z index of 10, so it will be at the top left corner. Okay, why is not coming from the left is 0 from okay, that's absolutely a mistake. Absolute. Okay, right now it will inject there, it will be in the left corner, as you see. So here what we can do, we will make it as also in a flex. Flex should be column item center space y should be 1, and tada, there should be something amazing. As you see, that design is just created, and how cool it is. Now we will also need to make something super cool, is that we're gonna make also, whenever the group hover, it will be, whenever anyone hovering in the group, opacity should be 0, it will not be available, and transition should be opacity, and here we're gonna pass a duration of 300. Why we're doing that? Anyone hovering, you see, that's gone. That's simply gone. Also, we can pass that if like and if the product, like we can make it also in that same parameter, like product dot stock. Why is not coming? So product status is there. Product dot stock is not equal to 0 and n. So if product is out of stock, it will not be there, nothing is there. So now we can see it's super simple. Now there should be also injecting another menu, right? So how we can do that? Again, is the same criteria we need to follow, but we can actually go and put all that, because all will be related in a stock. So you can make a global way, a global compartment here, then render all the things, but it's up to you if you want it to or not. But I'm going to render it, like define it in a very single manner, so that you will also understand in very proficient way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make another things. If my product.stock is equal to 0, like we can make that, like how we can make that. So const is stock is equal to product dot stock why is there stock is not equal to 0. That's the criteria. Easy stock. So easy stock means we have the product, right? So now every time, instead of writing that very big line, I'm gonna make that only if the product having this stock. So if easy stock is available and I want to render something, right? So if easy stock is available, I'm gonna render another parameter which will be product cart bar, so that the cart bar, it will be available right here. So right now I'm going to take another simple component here, which is going to render as product cart bar.tsx. So that will be a simple tiny menu by which we can also render our product. So here it should be product cart bar, so should be cart bar. So now in this cart bar we need to make some very good designing parameter, but before making that, or we can create the product bar, then we can do the other parameter. So right now what I'm gonna do is that in that div, let's put class name, I'm gonna make also again that absolute div, and from the bottom I'm gonna make it as 5. Okay, to keep it the topper layer. Is it coming in the top? Yeah, I'm gonna just keep it here right now, and from the left I'm gonna make 0, it will be full, and right now I'm gonna keep it here because I need to work here. Then I'm gonna showcase how we can render and how we can make it in more dynamic way. So now in that div, I'm gonna having another div, and here it should be MD favorite border, and there should be some of the icon here. Did we install the React icons? I think so. No, we're gonna use the React icon also. You can grab the other icon also, so it's very simple to use. I'm gonna just go with that npm I React icons attitude, and the simple way to install that package, and it's very tiny package. And here we need to go with the pair dependency, as it's not passing that in the legacy mode. So legacy pair dependency, enter, and after that I believe it would be available to install. Okay, I think okay, is installed and we are good to go. So now we should be able to get that our MD favorite border, and here we will make the consent bar as you see. So we should be able to see one, as you see, the heart shape right here. So now what we're gonna do, put a class name, we're gonna pass a border, and the border, after the passing the border, the shadow should be MD, background color should be white, and padding should be 2, and also rounded should be XL, and whenever anyone gonna hover that, BJ should be dark blue, and whenever anyone hover, text should be white, and we're gonna pass that hover effect to take the effect motion. Enter. Now we should be able to see some sort of design. As you see, it's entering in all the parameters. So to avoid that one, we're gonna make the text of gray of 500. To go with that, text should be LG text flex. We're gonna make it a flex value. Item center, justify center. I'm gonna put a gap of 2.5. So should be this one. So now we should be able to see that one in the middle, as you see. Okay, that's kind of cool. So right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just grab that similar parameter and I'm gonna just copy that 4 times 4, and here I need to render the other icon, which another, it will be far reg I. Okay, and then we're gonna pass that of TB arrow right left, and after that it will be RI shopping bag for line. So now as you see, we should be generating to having that other properties. Yeah, now we have 4 icons, but first instance it will not be there, right? It will only render when we want it to. And how we can do that? It's pretty simple. How we can do that, as you see in that we made it an absolute in the bottom, also we're gonna make it 0, so it will be overall at the bottom layer. As you see, it should go at the bottom. Now we will introduce our translate property. So first in translate y, it will be 12, so means it will not 1 by half, it should be 1 to 12. So it will be go deeper down over here at the bottom. So right now you will not be seen because as you see we made that one as overflow hidden. So this one we made that overflow hidden. If we just remove that, it should be available at the top surface. So as you see, it's right here. So let's just make it overflow hidden. Now what we're gonna do, as you see in the group, we have the group parameters. So now whenever we're gonna group, hovering on the group, then what it's gonna do, translate y should be 4. Okay, and we're gonna make that as hover effect ratio to provide and a tiny little hover effect showcase. So as you see on hover, okay, it's still not coming. Okay, it's coming, but it's coming, but we need to make that as minus translate 4, so it will be more upper and it will be easily visible, as you see. Okay, cool, that's perfect. So now we are doing that thing. So we have our perfect product ratio. Now what you need to do, you need to create that description data. Now for the description, what we're gonna do is that in that particular segment here, I'm gonna take one more div layer here, and okay, it's not automatically started. Let's get a div, and I'm gonna put a p tag, and here I'm gonna just make any snacks just to put a dummy text here. Don't worry, we're gonna make it dynamic later on, but now we're gonna just go with this snack, and over here at the top layer we're gonna make it as a flex. So it should be flex, flex should be column, and gap should be 2, because that's the layer we're gonna pass in our category. We're gonna bring it later on, but right now we're gonna just keep it like that. And class name, it will be flex, item center, justify should be between, item center, justify between. Now we have one p tag. After that p tag we're gonna get another div, and from that div we're gonna pass an array of that should be array from, and we're gonna pass a length, with the length should be 5. And from that length parameter we will map through it, and in the map we're gonna get that and also the index, and from this layer we're gonna return it from here, as you say. So it should be const is, we're gonna just make the last star just to combine the design. It will be index is equal to I think so 4, so that will be the last index here. And then I'm gonna return 1 star, should be low star, and is not providing Okay, Lucide star, we're gonna pass that. Let's see. And here we need to pass the key. The key should be our index. Let's just see if we are having our email like the icon. I think it's supposed to, yeah, that's the star icon. So we are going to use the Louis star, but it's not providing, so we're gonna grab it directly from our React icons. So it should be at the top layer, and we're gonna import it right here. Instead of the Lucide, we're gonna pass that Louis star here. So it should be our Louis star. So now we are having the star. So this p tag over here, we need to also make some of the class name. Put a class name, and we're gonna make it as a text gray of 500, and the font should be let's say we're gonna make it as a medium font here. So as you see, looks quite okay. And for this div over here, put a class name. I'm gonna make it as a flex item center, and the text should be light text. There is no light text yet, so I'm gonna make it also a gray of, let's say 500, just to see how it's going to be look alike. So yeah, I think that's cool, and I'm gonna make a gap of 1. Now all this we're gonna make it as a 4-star rating. So we're gonna make some class name here. So in that Louis star, we're gonna make it a fill color, and in the fill color, if it's not equal to is last okay, should be fill. If it's not equal to is last star, and then we're gonna provide one color is that, so FCA99B, that one will be. And if it's in the last star, that should be transparent, means no color at all. So it should be able to see some colors. As you see the colors definition here, I think it's quite okay. And after that, we're gonna pass some class name, and within the class name also we will define how it gonna render. So that time it will be, if its last star is available, then we're gonna provide something like the text should be gray of 500, and if it's the not last star, then it will be text should be, let's say text should be light orange. So now it will provide a combined ratio. The color, it will be exactly match. As you see, the snake and also the others looks quite combined properly. So we have that div to get all together for that parameter, for that our snake's title and others. Right now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna pass that product name and put a p tag, and here it should be our product dot name. So that will go and pass the name here, put a class name, text should be in that class name, text should be base text, and also you're gonna make text gray of 600, and after that tracking should be white, font should be semi bold, and line clamp should be 1, and we're gonna make it as a capitalized. So even you are making a more than 1 line text, it will not go beyond 1 line. And how we can check that, let's put a lorem of 20, so it's gonna generate so more lines. As you see right now, after passing 1 line, it will not go beyond 1 line. So in that way we can go strict to the design in a perfect manner. Now we're gonna pass a price view here. I'm gonna take its different component, should be price view.tsx or FCE. Here we're gonna pass the price combination layer, how the price is going to be, how we're gonna render that one. So this one over here, it should be price view, and in that price view we're gonna pass some of the criteria. We're gonna pass the price. The price should be that product.price. Now we can grab entire product, right? But why should take the product, as we just did something here? So also the discount should be discount. It will be our product dot discount parameter, product dot discount. And after that, we're gonna also pass the label, and that label should be product dot label. So that 3 things going to be combined in our price list here. Price view here. So it will generate in this process. So let's roll back to our price view, and we're gonna grab this all together. So first we're gonna get our interface here. So it will be interface, and we're gonna grab that props. In the props, we're gonna make that price, which going to be as a number, or it sometimes can be number, or it can be undefined, as it's gonna fetch from the backend. And then we're gonna have also that discount, which going to be a number. Also it could be undefined, not number, it should be undefined. and after that it would be also grabbing the class name. If class name is exist, then it will be a string. And also for the label, now every product may not have the label. If label is available, it will be also a string. Now what I'm gonna do is to grab this thing. So it will grab the price, it will grab that discount, it will grab also that our label, our class name, and everything going to passing as a props. It will resolve, and we are hoping everything looks perfectly aligned. Now we should be generating our price value and others. Now to make that one a really perfect way, we will grab two things here. First, here, like, we're gonna render our price view. Okay, there should be two price, one like let's say 250, another say let's say 200, and after this one will be again with another div. And after that we will, like, after the div we're gonna pass our label. So let's pass the label here. We're gonna pass that our, like, what's you can say, we'll pass the price, and here we're gonna pass our discount price, right? So we will pass the value. I'm just showcasing the design how it will render. So for the first instance here, put a class name should be flex item center justify between, and the gap it would be 5. So as you see, it will render automatically in horizontal way. And for the price tag here, also going to be flex item center, gap should be 2. As you see, the price tag it will also going to generate in a proper shape. And for the label here, we're gonna put a class name, text should be gray of 500, gray 500. Okay, now as you see the price, this price we're gonna generate as a format price. Remember, we need to pass the $sign and others, so we need to get and conduct it in a local currency. And how we can do that, we're gonna take a different file from here, and that should be price for matter.tsx. So this file will be responsible to format the price, whatever the price we're going to provide on that file. That should format it in any of the local string we want, any of the currency, local currency we are looking for. Now here we're going to take two parameters. One, it will be the amount, another it will be the class name. Again, passing the interface, which will be a props, and in the props it will be taking the amount, which it will be number, and number can be number there, or it should be undefined. And then the class name we're going to provide, if the class name available, the class name it would be as a string formats. So right now, if we also going to grade that as a props value, so let's go in the price view over here. Instead of passing that p tag, what we are going to do, we're going to pass that price format, right? Price formatter. And here we're gonna pass our amount. The amount should be let's say amount should be price, and there should be another one which going to be again the price formatter. And this time also the amount, this time we will not send directly the amount, but we're gonna send, because remember the discount value is a part. Now here you need to be a little bit very witty sense here. Now as you see, a product price is $10, right? Now this product price is $10. Now we are giving a discount of 2%, so like 20%, so the $2 is there. So $10 plus $2 going to be $12. Okay, the base price is 10, right? We are not providing any of the like the price and another price. No, in the discount we are passing the percentage value. Like if the product is $10 and the percentage is 20, means we have $2 discount for that. So what we're gonna do, alongside to minus the actual price, we're gonna add the discount price. Like we have the $10, then we're gonna add discount price to 2. So original price is 10, but with the discount the price is getting 12. So actual price getting 12, but the discount value, the price number is 10. We are adding the discount value, right? That's the way is most of the supermarket is working. Even you know it's discount, but it's not actually a discounted price. They are just adding up. So now we need to do the price, then we will plus. What kind of things we're gonna plus? We're gonna plus that our discount price into our price value, and that one we're gonna divide with with 100. So in that way we're gonna grab our actual price ratio. So what we are doing here, so that okay, that should work. Why was wrong? We pass that. Okay, was saying possible. Okay, that could be possibly undefined, and we pretty much did that. That could be undefined, but why it's not? Okay, amount is number, and that should not be having any problem because we pass the amount as number, so that would be not having any tricky value over here. So what's wrong? So that's our entire amount here. The price plus price and the discount. Okay, let's stick on. We're gonna find it and why it's not doing on that. So now what we're gonna do is that, as you see, we are having the two formatter value here. Now it's time to format our price. How we can format the price and cost? It will be formatted price. And in the formatted price, we'll take the new number, and in that number we're gonna pass our amount, and that amount, okay, NUM, I think it's a spell mistake here, NUMBER, number, and that amount, what you're gonna do, you're gonna make it to local string, and the string, where is string we want to make it as international wise US string, and then the currency we're gonna make it as USD, the dollar sign here, and the style should be the currency. And after that, we will need to also pass the minimum fraction of digits, like after how many digits it's gonna enter. Like the dollar is had the 100 cents, so it will be 0.00, so 2 extra digits should be entered here. Now instead of passing that in a div, I'm gonna take a span tag here. I'm gonna pass my formatted price value here. After passing that, we should be able to see the actual value. As you see, that's 20, the actual value, 22.40 is the discounted price. Now what we're gonna do is that we need to grab the class name, right? So in the class name, let's set get cn, and from here first we're gonna make the text should be SM, and then font should be semi-bold, and text should be dark text. And after that, we're going to grab any of the class name we want to provide. So now you should be able to see some of the design formulated for perfectly aligned with that. Right now in that price view, on that the second one, on the first one, we're going to make some more design here. So that should be class name, and here we're going to pass that. Let's say we need to make that things to be happen here. That should be like text should be extra small, font should be medium, and then I'm going to make it line through, so it will be concat a line through cut, it will be there, so people will understand that's not the actual price, that's the price you are getting there, this is the dummy price which is not able there. So this time, because as the calculation going on, I'm going to make that if price NN discount is available, only then render this. Otherwise, no need to render, no worries about it, keep it as it is. Now we have that, so we are getting our price view, and after also, as we're getting the price view, we need to grab the other properties. So we need to add our card view, right? So this add to cart button, as you see, our entire cart is still server side. We render each and every single product as on server side. We didn't attach any client side library yet because entire product thing is getting server side. But whenever we are going to add a single property which will be add to cart button, so add to cart button.tsx or FCE, this button will be responsible to add the products in our cart. So now whenever we are going to add the product in the cart, we will do multiple things. And what kind of things it will be there? We're going to add the products in our local storage. Like we're going to create a store which will be accessing the local storage. So this time we need to use the client side, as we are going to use the Zustand over there, which is not supporting the server side rendering. Now what we need to do here, after that price view, we will make that add to cart button. And in the add to cart button, we're going to pass all of our product, it will be taking as a product value. So you should be able to see one add to cart button here. Okay, so now in the add to cart button, we will define those class name and properties. And first thing first, we need to generate two things. One thing, it will take the product, and another thing, it will take the class name. So now we will render the product from the product, we will get the class name from the class name, and passing the props value as the parameter. Now first it's going to be rendering a button. Okay, I'm gonna just simply grab one button, and in the button it will say, let's say, add to cart. That's it, a simple button. And also I'm going to design on that button, so let's say put a class name, and of course it will be passing with that again the same parameter like the way we do it. So it should be coming out with the cyan, then bj should be dark blue, and we're going to pass an opacity of 10. So as you see, the background color, it will be changed and give a little bit impromptu here. Okay, quite cool. And after that we're going to make the text should be black and border should be dark blue, and of course it will be a border there. Padding y should be 2, margin top should be 2, and we're gonna get a full width, so it will be entirely concate with the full width purposes, so you're gonna be visible here perfectly. And after that we're gonna make it a rounded MD. Font should be medium font, and after that whenever we're gonna hover, bj should be dark blue, and whenever we're gonna hover, text should be, let's say, white. We're gonna pass the hover effect here, so it will align perfectly. As you see, okay, hover, okay, we made it white, hover text white, and we are passing the hover effect. Okay, why is not getting? Yeah, it's getting, but it's just get a little delay. So now we will create a functional layer here. So after that also, if any class name we are providing, we can access that. But if we make the button disable, we want to, like, whenever any loading parameter is running, we need to make the button as disable, right? So right now I'm gonna say that disable is true, so means that button is disable. We're gonna create a disable work line, how it will be allowed there. So if it's disable, the like hover disabled hover, and that time it will be cursor, it will be not allowed. And also whenever it's disable, bj should be, I can say, dark blue of, and I'm gonna pass a 10 of opacity. And again, one more parameter, it will be aligned whenever it gonna be disable. Text should be gray of 400, and disabled over text should be gray of 400, and disabled, that border should be dark blue within of the 10% opacity. So now as you see, that button is disable, and even you go with, as you see, it's nothing working, right? So you know that button is, even you click, it will not work. So that button, it will be disabled later on when we need to make it disable, especially while loading that or making some other promises. Now we're gonna add a function here, a simple function just to go and combine with that. So it should be on click handle add to cart. So this will handle our add to cart properties, const handle add to cart, and we're gonna just run a simple function. Let's say window.alert hello, and after, as we add that just an on click event, as you see, we're gonna run an error here. And the error is saying even handlers cannot be passed to client component props. So means the button, whatever the function we are rendering here, the on click, it should be within our client properties. So we just need to make simply use client. Now, if that button we directly render in the product card, we need to make this entire card as a client set library. But now, as we are just actioning on that card button here, we just may need to simply action that, passing that value as a card button. So that's how you can do it. That's how easily you can grab the concept and you can do something more. Now we will also need to make one more property. We should be a React hot toast we will apply. So hot toast to showcase the toast message over here. And to implement that is very simple. Go to the documentation, you just need to install that library. It's a pretty cool library. Also you can use that React Toastify or any other platform. There is lots of things, or you can manually create your own Toastify, right? Again, that also need to be go with legacy path dependency. So let's go here and legacy path dependency. No worries, very soon they will all combine to generate their own library. The supporting by 19 still is in legacy mode, like still is in not in the actual versioning properties, still in the RC. So let's roll back to our client layout, and over here after the footer we're gonna add our toaster. Should be toaster, and we need to import that. So toaster, let's import. No, it's not auto importing. So what we need to store, we just need to grab that property, or you can just simply run it here. It should be import toaster and from React hot toast. Why? Oh, it's not from, it will be from React hot toast. Now we need to define some of the criteria here. We need to pass the position. I love to be here is bottom right positioning, and then also you're gonna pass the toast options. I will love to have that style properties, which I will go with that as a background color. The background should be as a black color 000 and the color of the text should be, I would love to it have to be white. So that's the those options. It's just this is the simple structure to convey on that. So now we can easily use that here. So how we can use it? It's very simple, as we call it in global layer. Now from any of the file we can call it, like over here we can say toast, and we need to import the toast from React hot toast, toast.success cart dispatch successfully. Okay, if we now click on the card, you see card dispatch successfully, so means it's working. Now here it will be some of the different ratio. We can make the design before fetching the other properties. Like how we can do that? First of all, we will make one item count properties. Let's say const item count, count is equal to 5. So that's the value we have. Now we will just simply go and grab one condition. Okay, so that will be matched with our properties of in the store, but we're gonna just create the design, right? If we have the item count, then we will make one, not items, items count. I think it will be one item which gonna provide the count, so it will be better to keep it item count. If we have the item count, we're gonna pass it div, so pass the item. And if we doesn't have the item count, we're gonna pass our value. As you see right now, we're getting the item, right? So what kind of things it will be in the item in that particular div? Remember that count, it will coming from our store, but we are fetching the design. So right now what we're gonna do is that in that particular div we will also create another div, then passing an span tag, span, and here we will pass that quantity, 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 and after quantity we're gonna also make that a button which will be quantity buttons here. So let's go get a component, should be quantity buttons.tsx or fce, that will render our quantity button. So let's pass that quantity buttons here. So now as you see we have quantity and then quantity buttons, right? So in that div what we're gonna do, put a class name on that flex item center justify between, and in that overlayer I'm gonna make all of the class name, the text should be small text, right? So all text should be small. Now we have quantity and quantity buttons, so two parameters there, right? After that div, also in that span tag for the class name, text should be extra small and text should be muted foreground, so a little bit of that highlighted. Okay, yeah, that's cool, and that's the div. So let's say after finishing that div we're gonna have another div, and we're gonna have a span tag here, so span tag, and we're gonna render our text like subtotal. Then we're gonna have our price formatter here, and in the price formatter we're gonna pass the amount which is going to be product.price, and then we're gonna, if the product.price is available, then it will be that product.price into item count, otherwise it will be 0, just to be in safe side. So now we have 5 items, so 20 into 5 should be 100 because we manually inject 5. If we just make it as 2 items, as you see, it will be 40. So that's what we manually injecting, not in dynamic way, but later on we're gonna fetch that in a dynamic way. So put a class name flex item center justify between, border should be top and padding top should be 1. So a little bit a tiny gap over here. Now we're gonna go in our over in the quantity buttons. We need to create some of the very good design here to showcase our two button properties. Now this one going to be rendered a pretty dynamic way, and of course this over here we're gonna pass our entire product also, right? We're gonna pass our product, and that product will be showcasing our product scenario. So now here again it should be getting two interface, similarly the other one. So it will grab the product properties, and here it will define, it will grab that product, it will grab that class name, which going to be entitled passing from that props. Okay, now in quantity form it should be generating a two of the button, right? And it's pretty simple way it can go with that. And I think, yeah, there will be another properties which are going to be coming as a border style, which we will add later on, but I'm gonna just grab it here. So with that, because we're gonna call it in some other place in the single, like this one, this properties here, remember add to cart button, this we're gonna call in everywhere in our application. Whenever we need to showcase our button and the product ratio, even in the product, in the card, in the single product, everywhere we're gonna use that same a single button. So all the combination files we're gonna just write within the single file, but we're gonna reuse it in every criteria. So that's the way we can really create a cool design purposes. Now in the div we're gonna have a button here, so it should be have a button, and in the button we're gonna have one is hi minus icon. So hi minus and we are not getting any of that. Okay, I'm gonna just grab the two icon. There's only be a two icon, one of the plus, one is the minus. So hi minus should be hi minus, hi minus icon. Now button also need to be imported. Okay, we just got our button. So now this button, first this button we need to make some of the design. So how we can do it? So this the button, we're gonna pass a variant, not a value but a variant. Should be the variant should be outline, okay, so that the color it will just go away. And after that we're gonna also make the size should be icon size, and then we're gonna put a class name which should be 6, height should be 6. Okay, need to put a dash over here, and you see a super simple icon right here, a pretty unique icon, and we can easily interact with it, right? Looking pretty cool. Now also we will define one parameter on click. The on click event it will be there, and there we're gonna make it handle remove product, right? So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna just click a simple function here, should be const handle remove product, that gonna render, let's say toast dot success removed clicked. So we'll just showcase to see the things. If we click, as you see, remove clicked, and after the button we will show our item count, and of course this time that count it will not be coming directly from there. Remember, we're gonna get the count from our store. We can just pass that item count. We are not passing as the props, because remember we will not getting that from here, we're gonna get it from our store. So that's why I don't want to confuse you. If I just pass that parameter as a props, maybe by mistakenly you also be passing it as a props and then forgot, and it will be a mess around you. Then what the hell is coming, right? So right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just get a dummy here and a dummy right here, and this one also should be our item count. And here I'm gonna pass it within a span tag. Okay, and after that I'm gonna go grab that button and pass that here, and this time it will be hi plus. So we have one icon plus, one icon minus. So in the plus we will make that as handle add item. So handle add products. So this is the one we're gonna also, we'll just take a copy it, duplicate it, and we're gonna make that added click. So when I click added, when I click removed, both are working perfectly. Now it's time to also, we can make it disable. It will be disable. When it will be disable, if the item count is equal to 0 or is out of stock. So these two criteria it will be there. So if the item count is equal to 0, that time also it will be. But these two confusion, I'm not gonna make you more confused, because after getting the item count and is out of stock, we're gonna make it disable. That time it will make a lot of sense to you people, because otherwise you will get more confusion on here. So class name, we're gonna put the cn just to grab any conflict from here. We're gonna make it a flex. Okay, we're gonna make it a flex item center. Pass a gap of 1. Okay, gap should be 1, and then padding bottom should be 1. Text should be, let's say, base text. Not the balance, should be base. So right now, as you see, you are having a perfect good combination here. I think one thing I missed, which is for that span tag should be class name, and font should be semi-bold. I'm gonna pass a width here as 8 to not to be freaking out. So center and text should be dark blue. So right now, as you see, you are having a perfect good shape. Only we need to pass our store and other properties to just to contradict with it. So right now, if you just come over here, and as you see, we have a 0 item count. You see, you're having a card, you have 1 item, you're having the design. So both simultaneously will work perfectly aligned later on. But right now, as we did that, we're having our product, even we are making it a small design. As you see, we are getting in a very good shape. So this time, whenever we click in the product, we need to make it within our single product.